Gobble, gobble, motherfucker!
They're eating her! And then they're going to eat me! Oh my god!
Estrogen levels peaking. It's like she's in heat.
When are you gonna grow up, man? Chicks love cars. If you want to get into their pants, you better have a nice, hot Ferrari.
She's my hot Ferrari. Besides, I love my Mustang, which is a plug-in hybrid. It gets 100 mpg.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Oh, my eyes!
Welcome to episode 11 of Schlock Talk, picking nervously at the pimple of trash cinema since 2013. Craig.
Hi, Gabe. How you doing?
I'm Gabe. That's Craig. That's
Joel.
Paul.
Yep.
That's Alan.
Yo, yo, yo.
I'm Joel.
So tonight's movie is 1987 United States-produced action film Deadly Prey, directed by David A. Pryor. Craig, you keep looking at me.
I can feel the chemistry.
So I'll get to the intro here. They're stealing our shit, yo. So we try not to be too topical when recording the podcast, so as to make the humor as horrifically timeless as possible. But as I introduce Deadly Prey, there is a movie getting ready to open in theaters nationwide next week called Vampire Academy. Now, this is not a straight-up exploitation movie filled with blood, boobs, and college-related voyeuristic hijinks. No, Vampire Academy is a big-budget, PG-13 paranormal romantic drama based on a young adult novel series, no doubt quickly cobbled together to get a piece of the Twilight billions.
You know, it sounds like Harry Potter fucked the Twilight series and made this as their illegitimate love child.
Whereas Vampire Academy should be filled to the rafters with blood sacrifices of nude nubile starlets, explicit scenes featuring the intricacies of cunnilingus with fangs, and the panty raids on Satan's dormitory for young, sexually confused ladies. There is instead hot topic mall goth fashion, CGI-heavy so-called action scenes, and brooding he-vampires with asymmetrical emo haircuts and 0% body hair.
Don't forget these vampires who supposedly have to live like human beings, according to IMDb, and I'm quoting here, discreetly live among our world peacefully.
They're coming into our side of town with this shit, and we can't stand for it. Now, I don't mean to say the kids can't have their fun. It's not the subject matter I object to, gateway drugs and what have you. No, I cannot fucking stand that they're taking what is a tried and true movie titling formula and applying it to limp, soggy garbage like this. It used to be you could count on a movie with a title like Vampire Academy to be chock full of explicit sex and the accompanying naked chicks, exploding heads, spilled intestines, and rape, or at least the kind that the victim is kinda sorta offensively into. But just a quick browse of the Vampire Academy Wikipedia page and the fact that the movie is rated PG-13 and not NC-17, or even better, not rated at all, guarantees that no boners will be erected while watching and no barf bags need to be present at the screenings.
I don't know about that latter.
Speak for yourself.
See, it's really a simple thing to do. Take an occupation of some sort, cop, cyborg, barbarian, maniac, nymphomaniac, executioner, ninja, warlord, samurai, hooker, or in the case of this episode's movie, prey. Also, please don't hesitate to combine some of these jobs as well. Savage Master sounds like a pretty awesome movie to me. And really stresses the importance of multitasking. Next, we need an adjective qualifier to communicate just how badass our protagonist is. Good examples of this would be final, ultimate, sexy, furious, robo, extreme,
Conjoined?
filthy, psycho, cyber, or in our case, deadly. Although Deadly Prey obviously forgoes it, in our last step, we need to find a place for these sons of bitches to hang out and do their thing fucking shit up. Despite the presence of a vampire one, I still stand by Academy, although college is a suitable substitute. But other good examples would be Street, War, Zone, ideally a forbidden one, Showdown, Party, Wasteland, Planet, Galaxy, or perhaps best of all, simply Beyond. We here at Schlock Talk urge our listeners to try this fun game at home, because as we all know, the most important thing about any movie is the title. So anyway, tonight's movie is Deadly Prey. And it's produced by Action International Pictures, which I thought was pretty rad.
So did they.
There we go.
And the movie opens with Mike Danton, our hero, standing on the horizon, presumably shirtless, raising his gun into the air.
I don't think he owns shirts, does he?
No, wait, I just remember the first 15 minutes of the movie being people cocking guns. Was there something before that I strayed
There
off
was
of
his
there?
silhouette.
Yeah, there was.
Silhouette,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we have silhouette, guns in the air, and then 15 minutes of guns cocking.
Yes. And I already knew this movie was going to be awesome during the credits because it was verified when Cameron Mitchell was the first actor named in the credits. So he plays Danton's father-in-law, I guess. And so Deadly Prey does. It opens up with people loading and cocking guns for some assuredly insidious purpose. We don't know what that is yet.
Now, I don't know anything about guns, but it looked to me like they were just, like, taking all the bullets out of guns. Is that what was happening there?
They carefully were like
No, they're very...
loading their magazines, and then you see them pop the magazine up in there, and then they're like starting to cock them back, and there was already like live rounds chambered.
Yeah.
I know, like they're throwing all the rounds in the shotgun, and then he cocks the shotgun and a shell flies out. Like, why the fuck did you waste the shell? Now you're gonna look stupid picking that up. Your formation. But no, you're gonna be the one jackass that's got to walk 2 steps forwards because you know you're accountable for that fucking round.
Well, that's what it seemed like. Every time they were putting a bullet in, one jumped out. I was like, what's going on here?
No, like Joel said, every time they cocked it, they would put, like, there's already one in the chamber. Like, why would you do that?
Because it looks cool.
Well, just for the record, as you will find out, these so-called soldiers or paid warriors for hire, clearly have very lax standards when it comes to accountability for small arms. Like,
So-
we're talking about leaving the keys to a fucking tank in the ignition.
Do you need keys for a tank?
You don't need keys. For
Okay,
a tank,
okay.
But I'm just trying to illustrate.
I left my tank keys in my couch again.
If you want to steal a military vehicle, you just need to get inside it.
That's what I thought. Like, you don't need keys to fly a plane. You just turn it the fuck on.
So, writer-director David A. Pryor, who's the brother of our star, Ted Pryor, was notorious for knocking out movie scripts over a weekend and then starting filming within the following week. On some level, he's so proud that he bucked the studio system to ensure his singular vision was made, but these movies are really terrible. Also, we will be doing several David A. Pryor movies for this podcast.
Yay! Can't wait.
This one was a winner.
Yeah, he has a movie that also has Ted Pryor in it called Killer Workout, which is about a slasher at a fitness center. It's pretty sweet.
That sounds exhausting.
I can see the bloody leg warmers already.
So we learn out that the guys at the beginning of the movie who've been loading their weapons are doing this to start a kind of a deadliest game style human hunt. And the guy they're chasing has a huge brown stain down the front of his shirt that leads me to believe that he's shit not only his pants but his shirt as well.
It's funny because his pants and shirt are torn. Like Bruce Banner just hulked out and returned to normal size.
I want backstory on what happened to those pants. Did he get in a fight with his tailor?
He hulked
Did
out.
he forget to feed the cat for a weekend? What
had to
happened?
have
The
hulked
guy
out.
weighs an easy 300 pounds. I love that this elite commando team is chasing him through the woods.
Yeah.
A whole team chasing
Armed
one
fat
guy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to be fair.
When I watched the movie with Joel, he called them the special forces.
The very special forces.
So let's just be clear. This guy is like the furthest possible thing from Deadly Prey. He's more like fairly irritating Prey. Had to repeat the 7th grade Prey. Won't stop eating his boogers Prey.
Promised mom we would watch him for the weekend break.
And so the mercenaries corner this guy in like a bamboo grove, and he starts making this weird sound like,
No, we're skipping way ahead at this point.
Oh, yeah,
First
a
you
whole
have to go
probably
back-
30 seconds, Greg.
We have to go back to the fact that one of the guys sneaks up on him and holds him at gunpoint, and then just stands there for 2 minutes while fat retard grabs a rock, stands up, bashes him over the head, and then forgets to pick up the fucking automatic weapon at his feet and runs away.
Yeah.
And they catch up to him like the freaking Cobra guy or whatever with the glasses and the tank top comes there, and he's like, "Why don't you explain your pathetic self?" And the guy's like, "Oh, I got me with my guard down. It never happened again." And just like as draconian as possible, says, "I know," and boom, has the guy executed.
If you couldn't telegraph that scene from like the very beginning, you're retarded as the guy who was running away.
You should be the deadly prey or the special prey.
So he does take out one of the mercenaries. He doesn't take his gun. He continues to be chased, and he falls down in a clearing and uses the Randy from A Christmas Story tactic.
Yeah.
He laid there like a slug. It was his only defense. They wind up killing this guy, and I say thank baby Jesus for that.
You forgot that guy. He was like breathing so heavily too. He was like, when I don't think he could actually attain speeds that quick to necessitate said breathing.
When your special forces,
Please don't kill me.
When
Please.
your special forces unit is outgunned by a 300-pound asthmatic
With a rock.
That dude deserved to be shot. I'm sorry.
So yeah, when they go back to the camp, they wind up killing the guy that got knocked out by our fat boy. And then we're introduced to Colonel Hogan and his woman, and I'm led to believe that this outfit of mercenaries does not issue brassieres.
They have pants that ride up to your fucking underarms.
Yeah, they have cut off fatigues for the ladies.
Yeah.
Here's your midriff shirt, ma'am, and your cut-off fatigues.
It was
and
cool.
Here's your high boots. Have a good day. Thank you for joining.
I was upset because as they were
bra?
As they were panning into like the main mercenary camp, I was really upset that the music from MASH wasn't playing at that time.
Suicide is painless, and I wish I did it before I watched this.
So Colonel Hogan asks a bunch of new recruits why they want to join, and the first three guys all say that they're there for the money, and the last guy, who I think is Jack Cooper, he says, "I'm here for the fun."
And you know, this is the part of the film that offends me the most, because what he should have been asking is like, so what is your job history? And then he would have known, Chuck E. Cheese security guard, mall cop, Salvation Army major.
And the last
That's the
guy.
kind of guys they pull in.
And the last guy, his job, racist. Like, oh, we'll hire you instantly.
So Hogan tells these guys that this is not the Army, the Navy, or the Marines. So I guess this is the Air Force?
Or the Coast Guard.
Yeah, it could be the Coast Guard. And Colonel Hogan...
I was going to say that this is like freaking professional LARPers and stuff like that.
Cosplay at its finest.
So he meets with the guys that he had sent out to kill the runner from the beginning of the movie. He tells them to get another runner and get a mean one.
But you forget his paperweights are grenades.
Oh, I didn't even notice
He
that.
has 4 grenades on his desk as paperweights, and they're just sitting there.
Not safely stowed in an armory where they belong, just there on his freaking desk.
Yeah, they're on his desk during the whole movie, during every scene at his desk, during the whole movie, during every scene.
Yeah.
I'm saying this for further on, Gabe. During every scene, there's a bunch of grenades on his desk.
They're just there. They might as well, just like peppermints in a glass dish. It's pretty much
Hand grenade?
You like a grenade?
It's like the middle-aged mercenary version of an old lady asking if you want some hard candy.
old people candy.
Would you like a sugarless mint, Sonny?
So, next thing we meet our hero, Mike Danton, and we learn that he sleeps on a waterbed and can be easily beaten up by a girl in a negligee.
With weak hits from a freaking pillow, by the way. Come on, you're going to be late for work. Oh, I always hate it when you're late for work. It's such a turnoff.
And I know if my wife woke me up like that, I'd be kicking her in the vagina every day. What the hell is that lady's problem? Can't she be like, it's time to wake up? No, it's like, 1 second, time to wake up. And he's like, oh, I'm tired. He halfway gets up, and then she starts hitting him with the pillow.
Yeah, and it's
Inappropriate.
like picking a fight with a guy who's clearly been juicing since the invention of the mullet.
We also find out that Danton has frosted tips, lacy curtains in his kitchen, and that he wears shorts so obscenely brief you can see his labia.
Seriously, it's like he threw on his wife's cutoff jeans. And didn't he have like some kind of like girly sweater on when he was hauling the trash out?
They were obviously issued by the same colonel who gave them to the woman in the other scene.
Those were the ones they used on Dukes of Hazzard. Those were Daisy Dukes.
Here's your cutoff shorts, sir. I think I joined the wrong portion.
No, this is your summer hot weather gear.
So Mike steps outside to take out the garbage, and he's grabbed by some of the mercenary goons who apparently bought the A-Team van on eBay. And then back at the camp, we learn that Michelson, who's played by former 50s heartthrob Troy Donahue, is funding this mercenary operation, and he's not happy with Hogan's progress with getting the troops ready, and he gives him a month to prepare.
It's funny how their conversation goes because it sounds like you just wrote a script and you gave it to 2 6-year-old boys to act out. They're not ready. You have a month to get them ready.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I'm
think
not ready.
I wanted 3 months, and then he was told, you just have a month, by the threatening man with no guns surrounded by mercenaries. Yeah.
So Mike is dropped off into the woods, and he's our hero and our next deadly prey runner. And he's shirtless, alone, surprisingly oily, and quickly running out of hair product.
You're gonna die.
Someone's gonna die. A lot of people are gonna die.
Yes, it wasn't like the line before he was released is like, "You're all gonna die." I mean, wasn't that basically what he said? And they threw him off into the forest to go run in his short boy shorts.
Yep. And so he uses like stealth to take out the mercenaries. He knocks the first guy out. It's not even with a stick or a branch. I mean, it's a full-on log.
Straight up driftwood.
No, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood, and that was a fucking log.
That was a tree, man.
Yeah.
It was like 7 feet tall, 1.5 foot thick. I couldn't have even thought about picking that damn thing up, but he not only picked it up, but murdered someone with it because the inertia of hitting somebody with something that big and heavy.
He fucking swung it like a foam bat.
I know.
And then I thought, you know what? He's not going to be as dumb as the first guy and forget the gun. So he didn't. He picked it up. And then in the next scene, he has no fucking gun anymore.
Right.
So what the idiots?
Well, if you can wield a telephone pole, you really need a gun.
He probably picked it up, and as he picked it up, he squished the gun so hard that it didn't work anymore. He's like, smash metal, damn it. He just threw it away.
The second guy he kills, he just picked him up and busts his back up against a tree. I have to say, I kind of admire Danton's green-friendly methods of execution.
Especially his Hulk green fucking methods of execution.
Seriously, like, does like these mercenary, do they not like ever hate being called last in the formation? Like, Alan, you're going to be taking up the rear of the formation. No.
So he takes out guys number 3 and 4 with some more standard like knifings to the neck. He's already fashioned himself some sort of vine necklace at this point. He like took time off from being stalked by mercenaries for some arts and crafts.
Do you like
when
my
you wear
necklace?
shorts like that, you know he's into fashion.
Yeah.
And so the fifth guy, he grabs him and he tells him if he answers some questions that Danton may let this guy live. And we find out that Danton knows Colonel Hogan, and then he just simply guts this guy.
Yes, the guy he says, I just joined today. Bad timing.
One of the guys that Danton took out stumbles his way back to the camp, and we meet Mirror Shades, Hogan's right-hand man. And he karate kicks this guy to death for his failure, which was pretty awesome.
I like Joel's Commander Cobra.
Commander Cobra?
Yeah, Commander Cobra. That's a really good nickname.
I kept waiting for that guy to get in a fight with Scott. Who's the guy? The Karate Kid?
Scott Baio?
Scott Baio.
Scott Baio's not the Karate Kid.
No.
Scott Baio.
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph
Macchio. I'm like,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
looks
Sorry,
like the
sorry.
guy.
Yeah. Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Sweep the leg. So the scene switches to what appears to be several hours later, and Danton's wife Jamie is calling and leaving a phone message for her dad. And I gotta see...
For acting.
Yeah. I gotta say, it seems like Danton likes him dumb. Like Don Dunlap dumb.
It's like he's like,
Talk
we're going to
about
prove
that.
evolution exists and make the dumbest breed of humans possible.
And she's
She
like,
sure does smile.
She's like, someone took Michael, Daddy. I'm pretty tired. I don't know what to do, Daddy. Please hurry, Daddy.
It was
Dad.
3 hours ago. They took him away in a van. It may have been.
He's like asking her, okay, what...
Why'd you wait so
did
long
you-
to call?
Did you see
I
the
started
van?
calling you 3
Yes.
hours ago.
Did you see a license plate?
Remember.
He said, like, did you see a license plate? Yeah, did you see any numbers on the license plate?
That's
like
further
things
on.
that the cops could probably ask her about.
Yeah. And so while all this is happening, Danton is hunkering down. He's got a little fort carved out in the bushes where he can hide. He's stealth killing more guys. He's sharpening sticks. He's making traps. He's conditioning his hair.
You forget he does a stealth kill from the bushes. He does this vanish like he's hidden, and all of a sudden the bushes remove and it's his face and the knife. And then he stabs a guy who makes no noise while being stabbed in the chest, mind you.
Or the
It
doesn't
drags
matter.
him back
They-
in the bushes.
They don't hear noises.
it's the subtle things like the lines of troops like walking along and then the camera pans up and he's been in the tree the whole time.
We'll get there.
And then right after that, he murders somebody with a sharpened stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So we finally meet Cameron Mitchell, who's Danton's father-in-law, and Jamie tells her dad that she explicitly has not called the police, and he tells her to think hard and tell him what happened. But you can see the disappointment on his face from having a special daughter.
She has to
you
think
can
hard
almost
to tie her shoes.
hear him rolling his eyes over the phone.
And so back in the forest, Colonel Hogan is getting it on with Lieutenant Nobra. One of his men tells him that the mercenaries are dead, killed by the runner. And while he and the men are then looking at the bodies, Danton is hiding in a tree about 3 feet above them. And that's being generous. Hogan is able to determine that Danton is the runner from his throat-slashing style.
Yes.
I know this.
He goes, it's mine.
I know this style.
He goes, it's mine. I'm like, I'm hunting us. I was waiting for that epiphany to come. What, sir?
And then Danton does he does the hide under the water until someone comes along trick.
Yeah, that was some strategic thinking right there. I may drown, but eventually I'll catch someone.
Followed quickly by the bury yourselves in the leaves and stab a dude trick.
The sound he
during the-
makes coming out of those leaves. That's it's like the earth is giving birth to him.
It's funny, as soon as he saw the water, Joel was like, he better go in the water and kill someone! He better go in the water and kill someone!
Please have a straw in your mouth and just lay there under the water breathing through the straw.
He didn't even have a straw.
Yeah, he didn't. That's what I was expecting. I
He had
expected
fucking gills or something.
I expected to see the straw sticking up out of the water. It never did. And so the smartest of the mercenaries at this point says, "We're not hunting him. He's hunting us."
Whoa.
He's like deadly prey.
This prey is very, very ominous. How do I describe it?
And
Stay
so
away from this prey.
while Danton is being stalked, he gets rifle butted by one of the mercenaries and it dislocates his shoulder, but he managed to stick stab this guy.
Okay. This is another one of those points I need to make. So the mercenary comes up, hits him with the stock of his gun, and then throws his gun away and draws a knife. What fucking kind of retard are you?
Yeah, these
Do
are
you not
special
know how to
mercenaries.
pull triggers? Were you not that far in the basic firearms manual?
The guns are just for show.
Gun is not a blunt instrument of death. It's a shooting instrument.
Had he killed him, we wouldn't have had the Brokeback Mountain moment that comes next.
Or the amazing it defies all logic, the putting the shoulder back in the socket scene by wrenching it back out with a rock under your armpit.
Yeah.
He put a headlock on a rock to secure his arm.
Or when he fucking molests that worm. I'll never get that image out of my head again. He spits on that shit like... Oh, man. I couldn't watch. He spits on it. I had to leave the room. I can't watch what's going to happen next. I can't watch where that goes.
So Mike is able to pop his shoulder back into socket with one of those hippy dippy deodorant crystal things, which don't actually help with BO, but apparently do quite well for this. And so you'll have to explain the Brokeback Mountain part, Alan. I don't remember.
Then he meets up with Cooper.
Yeah, the guy with the knife.
Oh, okay.
He pulls the knife
I'm
out.
getting there. I made a few more. Yeah, anyway.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. So yeah, Danton is walking in the woods. He does some survival-y kind of stuff, eating roots, mushrooms, and worms.
Let's not forget rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the while, Jamie is home alone, sitting in the dark, which she seems very comfortable doing. Because it's, a normal night for her. I'm worried that she was allowed to build a fire in the fireplace, though, with no responsible adult supervision.
If the lights turn on, she might see words and get confused.
And so, while this is happening, Colonel Hogan and Lieutenant Nobraw are talking about Danton. And we find out that Hogan feels betrayed by the military and is discharged with nothing but a $600 a month pension. So that's why he's starting this mercenary
Gotta
group.
make a living.
It's because he was teaching them how to make the perfect killing machines.
Yeah.
And they didn't appreciate it, Gabe.
He's like, I'd give anything to have 1,000 soldiers like him.
And so he orders...
Inside me.
He orders
Sorry, no bra. It's the truth.
Yeah. So Hogan ordered... I thought this was kind of weird. He orders Nobraw to get him another beer. And then Danton sneaks up and threatens him and he yells, Danton!
Like he just shit himself or whatever.
Once again, the whole movie could have ended right here. With
I brought up their turbulent romantic past, and it was just having a flashback from when they fought after sex.
So was this about the time that he met up with Cooper?
I think it was
The
before.
first
No, it was earlier.
It was earlier.
Yeah, when he pulls the knife, like he has a gun and then he pulls the knife out. That's when he meets with Cooper.
Okay.
Because Cooper goes to stab him and he grabs it, and then he grabs his neck, and then he grabs his neck, and then they lock eyes, and it goes to Cooper's face, and then it goes to Dan's face, and Cooper's face, and then Dan's face, and I'm like, they're gonna fucking kiss.
I recognize this erotic asphyxiation. Cooper!
Oh, that's right, because he fought like 4 guys at a time, right? Where they all kind of one-on-one'd him, and he got like punched a few times. Isn't that where he got his arm injured in the first place?
It's just so great, though. It's like,
Did you say one-on-one to him?
Yeah, because it's not like they could take 4 of them and fight them all together. They gotta go by their chivalrous code of morality and just go out there and fight
It just
them
sounds like something Gene Simmons would have said in Never Too Young to Die. One-on-one him. Garbage him.
have some
My little turd balls.
have some placebos.
And so Mike is wandering around in the wilderness. He runs into a couple of yokels, which leads me to believe that 75 miles southeast of Los Angeles is Mississippi, and it's 1953.
So true. Suspenders, plaid shirts, and a southern draw.
A shotgun.
Big chubby guys with
But they
shotguns
looked like they were
rolling around.
Mexican or something. I was just like...
And then
That's
they
what I
brought
thought.
around the guy's shit and noticed he was eating rats.
Yes.
Yeah. They were pulling his feces
And
apart.
then they're talking garbage about city folk, you weird motherfuckers.
City folks will eat anything.
Yeah, I shit in a porcelain toilet. I don't play around with that shit, you weird motherfuckers. Knock it off. That's mean. They're mean. Mean, weird assholes.
Maybe they saw him molesting the worm earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, good guys.
So the mercenaries are out looking for Danton, and they find his campfire, and they run into these moonshiners. And they tell the mercenaries that Danton is 10 minutes ahead of them, and they set off in hot pursuit.
Oh, they have to kill them first, though. I mean,
Oh, yeah, they do kill them. Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's not like they were going to be able to run away or anything. All that extra weight they were carrying.
And so the mercenaries have... Danton topples a bunch of boulders onto them, most of which clearly miss, but kill them anyway.
It was shock. He had a heart condition.
But it's weird. There's like, you know what? There's this path down here in this narrow ravine. You know what we're going to do? We're going to stack like 40 boulders here that could be easily toppled by a skinny dude. Pushed over. We're going to stack them here. Right here.
It was probably some pylon for like cattle boundaries and stuff, but still, I mean, you're not gonna
Don't
push
try
that
to
over.
explain.
No,
75 miles out of Los Angeles, for Christ's sake.
I swear to God, had the thing been on there 5 seconds earlier, you would have seen him take the Acme wrapper off
The boulders.
the boulders
But still, they were clearly foam because no
They
man
bounce.
could push that down. And yes,
Yeah, one guy got hit in the head with a giant rock, and the rock bounced off his
Yeah.
head instead of crushing his head.
instead
into
of
the ground
rolling
like it
over
should have.
him like a rolling pin over bread dough, it just like bounced off the top of him, and he fell down.
So Danton has killed most of the rest of the mercenaries, but he runs into Cobra Shades. Is that what you called him? Cobra
Cobra
Shades?
Commander.
Cobra Commander.
Commander Cobra, I think.
Thornton, I think, is his name. And it's a one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat fight and hairdo off between these two. Thornton beats Danton and brings him back to the base, and Lieutenant Nobra bitch slaps him around for a little bit.
What was the line he said when he had the gun to his head and he was going to off him? Does
I don't
anybody
remember.
Some
I'm gonna
corny
kill
ass-
you or something, or you're gonna. I can't remember something about threatening
Alan, you
death.
must find it for us.
So while Alan's working on that, so Hogan asks Mike to join the mercenaries, but he won't do it. And Hogan tells Danton that he's 1 in 1,000, but his hair is 1 in 1,000,000.
So how many mercenaries have died up until this point?
Probably 2,000.
Probably 20.
They
I would
had
say
to have
20.
it. They had to have at least 1,000 die because the other one in that 1,000 was Commander Cobra.
Right.
So that's how the math works.
So I think we can call this outfit Hogan's Zeros.
High five!
Yes.
High five!
Way to game!
So Hogan says, "Join me, damn it!" And Danton says, "No way."
Oh yeah.
It's like half the dialogue from this movie is like 2 words
Yeah.
put together with a menacing growly rasp.
or
on them.
grunting.
It's a real intellectual battlefield going on
I gotta
here.
say, Hulk Hogan picked the best mercenaries because they don't scream or make any noise when they die.
So
Silence, but not so deadly.
meanwhile, Cameron Mitchell, Danton's father-in-law, is driving a Suzuki Samurai
Yeah.
and has gone to the mercenary parking lot
He parks right next to the military vehicles.
by himself.
With all due respect, though, it's like he would never look like threatening. Like, oh, a man with Alzheimer's is lost.
Let's make him a runner.
So Cobra Commander Mirror Shades is torturing Danton, but Cooper, the guy that Mike had met earlier and spared and served with in Vietnam, by the way, he is not chill with this happening. And also, it is apparently a nice leisurely stroll from the parking lot to the camp because Cameron Mitchell is already there.
Well, first he gets challenged by that. When the guard comes out, he's like, "Friend or foe?" And the guard's like, "Friend." And then he says some other cheesy ass line and just blows
Liar.
the guard away.
Liar.
Liar. Boom.
And so we learn as well that Michelson, the guy who's funding the mercenaries, does not like Hogan's methods anymore, and he tells him to take care of Danton. And so Lieutenant Nobra throws water in Danton's face, but he gets away because Cooper had cut his ropes, right?
Yeah.
And he gets caught by Pyramid from Never Too Young to Die, but he gets a drop on him and puts a grenade down his pants.
That sucks.
And so we're about halfway
The
through
best-
Deadly Prey, and Mike actually picks up and uses a gun at this point.
The best part is when he blows up the guy's dick.
Yeah.
The only thing left is a smoking shoe.
Yeah, that's right. It's like Looney Tunes as far as the special effects
And
go.
I'm telling you, had you been there 30 seconds earlier, they would have taken the Acme tape off of the shoe before the smoke started coming out of it.
So nobody has any idea where Danton is at, but they all get into their cars and drive off after him anyway, like in multiple directions. And then Mike does the old grenade down the tank hatch trick.
Yeah, the tank shoots at him and it misses. I mean,
And it makes a
it
little
fires a freaking
tiny
heat round.
Puff of smoke comes up from the ground where it shoots.
Tanks that fire heat rounds, which make these enormous explosions, which are used to blow bunkers to fucking pieces, and it misses like it was just a plain old freaking bullet. And then he just yeah, no, shoot at Hulk. And he just freaking runs. He just fucking straight up runs to the tank and fucking throws a grenade in the hatch.
Yeah, the hatch is not locked down or anything.
Yeah, it's
He
not
just
buttoned up
pulls
or
it
anything.
open and throws the grenade down. It's over.
Hence I said these are the mercenaries that leave the keys to the tank in the ignition.
You don't fuck with Michael Bolton.
And so during this scene, there are some helicopter shots that are clearly from another movie, and then he's able to blow it up with stock footage.
That's right.
I love the explosion on that too. It's not like you see like the helicopter blow some of it off or anything like that. This cartoony ass fucking big explosion takes up the screen and then it cuts away.
He threw a hand grenade at it, didn't he? Or is that what he fucking did?
I think he did.
Yeah, he threw a goddamn hand grenade at a helicopter that's got to be at least 50 fucking feet in the air.
And so Danton runs back into the woods, and he's chased by all the mercenaries. And about this time, there's a medium full body shot of Danton, which leads me to believe he doesn't work on his lower body enough.
Yeah.
This guy's got some chicken legs.
So there's like 45 seconds of footage before he kills the helicopter with the grenade. So these guys in the helicopter have no chance at killing anyone whatsoever.
And so Danton gets caught by a lone soldier, who in turn is killed by Cooper, the guy who's been helping him from earlier. We find out they were in Vietnam together, but all it takes is a brief IMDb search to learn that Ted Pryor, who plays Mike Danton, was 14 years old when the U.S. pulled out of Vietnam. Which, if it's true, is pretty badass, but if not true, makes me wonder if this movie is taking some liberties with the truth.
Artistic license.
To be fair, it was probably at about age 30 that he pulled out of his last Vietnamese.
Oh! And so
when I said he fought in Vietnam, I meant he fought inside of Vietnamese.
A Vietnamese. I don't think you can say that. So Hogan orders the mercenaries to go to Danton's house and kidnap Jamie about this time. And Cameron Mitchell, meanwhile, tricks and then captures Michelson, who he then shoots, and he gets blood all over his Suzuki Samurai. You know, the bad guys at that point, they bring Jamie back to the camp, and I have to say I was not anticipating Deadly Prey would get so rapey.
Hooray for rapiness coming back to Schlock talk!
How could Hogan, how could he just, do that? It's like, wow, this woman probably doesn't understand basic shapes, but I'm going to rape her anyways. No guilt in that.
It's like fucking a blow-up doll. I mean, it can't really offend the blow-up doll.
I think that's
right. And I think the only offense that freaking Mike Danton would take would be just the fact that it's not that he violated his wife; it's just that he doesn't like sharing or something. No, mine.
So the mercenaries, they also capture Cameron Mitchell, and Jamie says, "Alan, you did this so well."
Huh? No. Oh. Yeah. They raped me, Daddy!
And she's kind of got this weird smile on her face the whole time.
Yeah.
Like someone told her that's what she's supposed to say, but
like she was
quite get
eyeing Hogan like, knew you're going to get in trouble now.
It was really disturbing.
And mind you, while this man just learned out his daughter's raped, there's 4 grenades. Not 1 foot from his hands.
Hey, those were holding down some papers, Alan.
Instead of grabbing a grenade, he decides to get shot.
They were holding down important papers. Business papers.
You don't fuck with business papers, man. That's an old rule.
And so Jamie's dad tries to strangle Hogan, but he gets shot and killed. And then meanwhile, Danton has walked all the way home?
Yeah, he gets all the way to fucking home.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just do that in the beginning of the goddamn
Yeah,
movie?
they said 75 miles southeast of Los Angeles.
It'd take him what, 4 days or something like that? Even if
at
he
least
can
a
cover
couple.
20?
At least 2.5 days.
Yeah.
And so Lieutenant Nobra is waiting for him back at home. And then he talks to Hogan on the phone and then kills her. Right?
Yeah, no, not before,
she doesn't die at that point.
The biggest insult, the cleverest insult that anyone ever throws in this movie is, fuck you. That's all he did. He's like, fuck you. And then he kills her.
And so, following him killing Nobra, there's an extended A-Team style weapon procuring montage.
Yeah, it's his footlocker in his garage.
Just throwing knives, his hand grenades that are not
samurai
used,
sword,
paperweights.
like all these dorky doodads he got when he was a teenager or something and held on to forever.
But I want to go back to when he kills Nobra in the fuck you. She has a gun, she's pointing at it, and she's like, Hey, make it bang. Bang, we got your wife, make it bang. And she sets the gun down while she's taunting him. Bang it, bang it, bang it, bang. And then he says, fuck you, and punches her in the face. And takes her own gun and shoots her with it.
Granted, this is also like the 1980s, so how the fuck did she signal Hogan to call right at the exact moment so she can pick up the phone and be like, it's for you?
His pager.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, again, the army these guys were recruited from had the word salvation in front of it. Thus they're not that great.
And so,
salivating
after Danton gets all his guns, he apparently...
bomb.
Yeah, his time bomb. Fucking cartoon time bomb.
Yeah. Once again, Acme.
TNT. TNT with a handed clock on fucking top of it.
It looked like it was taped together.
Yep. He then apparently walks back to the forest that night.
Yeah.
And this is followed by an extended trap setting montage, which apparently requires a great deal of twine and Play-Doh.
Because apparently, like, he freaking, when he was over in Vietnam, he was also, like, fighting the fucking Predator, so it was just a complete repeat of the scenes from that.
Yeah, I turned off the sound and put on the soundtrack from Home Alone while he was building.
And so, while Danton is doing all this, he runs into Cooper again, and Cooper's decided he's going to help Danton, and they sneak into the camp and kill a few dudes with throwing knives, and then him and Cooper take out a couple more, and they grab Jamie and set up one guy with a grenade trap. They like put a grenade underneath him after he's unconscious.
Yeah, where his head is like on the pressure board.
Yeah,
he says that's my color card.
I also like the fact that once again we have the brilliance of the Salvation Army at work, where the guy has the main hero, dead to rights with a gun pointed at his back, says freeze, stands there. The guy draws a knife from his chest, turns around and whips it out and kills him because he's a fucking retarded person. Why do you people not pull triggers? Why is this so hard to understand?
You listen to like Michael, the business guy. They're strapped for cash. They just can't afford that training. Listen,
bullets are expensive.
We only have 10 rounds for the entire company of mercenaries. And no one fires a shot.
Not only that, but some assholes went and racked around, and now we have 9. So you sons of bitches have to deal with 9.
You know what help?
They didn't have
stop popping the ammunition
they
out
don't
of the
have any
fucking gun
rounds
before you
because of the
fire it.
opening montage.
Yeah. Sorry guys, we wasted all our ammo on the opening credits. It's like someone ever told Hogan that, hey, I think you have to pay your soldiers more than the price of a bullet.
And so it's the first time that they've ever had to take weapons back because they were racked too much. They got destroyed from racking.
And so, right about this time is the most amazing and incomprehensible thing in the entire movie. They hand Jamie a gun.
Whoa.
Is this a vibrator? I don't understand.
Can I put my mouth on it?
I think the amazing thing was she didn't point it at her head.
Yeah.
And so, I want to say, too, that around this time, the only black guy in the movie who's been kicked in the nuts twice and then stabbed seems fairly racist.
Yeah.
And they hide Jamie in the bushes, and the mercenaries follow them into the forest, and almost all of them get booby-trapped by the stuff that they've set up earlier in the movie.
I especially like the one where the guy trips the wire and the thing comes at his head and he grabs it. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a badass. And then the grenade just falls down and blows him up.
Yes, this is something me and Joel were discussing. That's some Acme shit there, too. How would he know, be like, you know what, on all of the traps, I'm going to put the grenade on this one because I know that the person's doing this is going to be obvious enough that he's going to grab it and save himself from being stabbed in the face. But grenade on this one.
Exactly.
Acme bastards.
Said victim of trap will chuckle a little bit. Will realize the irony of his pride, the folly of his pride when he looks down at the grenade.
So true.
God powers.
So retardedly true.
And we'll leave Roadrunner alone.
So there's an extended firefight scene, and we learn that Cobra Commander is looking for Danton on his own as well, and that he escapes a few booby traps, right, while this is all happening?
He walks over a wire, and that was the extent of his awesome
Saw
skills.
the twine, he was like, no.
Okay. And so Danton and Cooper's strategy seems to be stand out in the open and shoot indiscriminately from the waist. Also, have a bazooka.
That helps.
Which is a pretty good strategy because they're mowing these guys down.
How convenient is it that the colonel suddenly loses step with the rest of his division? They walk 10 steps forward and the bazooka kills them all. But the colonel's alive because he's lazy?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. So by this point, most of the mercenaries have been whittled down, and all that are left is Cobra Commander and Hogan, and they catch Jamie and they take her captive. And Hogan brings her into the clearing and blows her fucking brains out, which honestly does not seem like that much of a threat.
No, she never thought with that anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is.
I just have a big hole in my head now.
No, she didn't need it to survive. She's fine.
It'll make breathing easier for her. It's an improvement in quality of life.
She'll put marbles in the hole and shake her head.
So Cooper shoots Hogan in the shoulder, but he won't kill him. But then, in turn, Cobra Commander kills Cooper, right? That's
yes,
not what happens
because
here?
Cooper is stupid.
Yes. Well, he's been trained by these people long enough to know
the
that you don't
Salvation
kill
Army
people when they
training.
need killing. And so Mike then chases after Cobra Commander, and he has Jamie, and he shoots her right in the fucking culottes.
And you know what? We all applauded at that point.
Yeah.
Thank God she's dead. She's that stupid.
That was the humane thing to do. You can let her live like some kind of sick, perverted joke.
But then Mike drops his gun and is clearly shot several times before chopping off Cobra Commander's arm and beating him with it.
The best scene of the movie.
Charges, and the guy drops a gun and shoots at him 4 times. And he still comes up and cuts his arm off. It's like, what the fuck?
That was the best part of the whole movie.
It just,
Yeah.
Oh my! It was
Oh,
so
man.
unexpected. You're watching this, you get him see him shot several times, and you're like, "Hey, I can then deal with this movie with him dying. I mean, fuck this dude." And he chops Cobra Commander's arm off and beats him to death with his own fucking arm.
And the arm,
Again, out of a cartoon, man.
the arm
It's
doesn't
fucking
bleed.
beautiful.
There's no blood anywhere.
It's as
It's
stiff
just
as
an
a
arm.
baseball bat.
He smacks him with it a few times. He falls over.
And then he
Oh,
scalps
God.
him.
He scalps
Yeah,
him.
scalps him.
He scalps him, which is pretty sweet. So at the end, the very last scene in the movie, Hogan is still alive, and Danton finds him and throws Mirror Shade's Cobra Commander's scalp at him, and he tells him to take off his shirt
I
and
know
shoes.
it's about to get fucking sexy up in
and
here.
run.
Yeah.
But we
Only
don't know that
Hogan
because
was-
he's like, "Take off your shirt." He's like, "What? Take off your shirt?" He's like, "Take your shirt off before I cut you out from under it." So he takes his shirt off, and at this point, I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to turn my head." Well, I'm not homophobic. I don't really like seeing two men.
The Colonel's
No.
secret recipe, taking it up the ass.
And he's like, "Take off your shoes." And I'm like, "Oh, it's about to get romantic. Maybe I can watch this." But then he just tells him to run because he's going to hunt him.
Yep. And then Hogan screams,
Irony.
and the credits roll. And that was Deadly Prey.
Hell of a movie.
Awesome movie.
What was the point of this movie?
I think they need a Kickstarter to remake it.
I give it 1 thumbs up because my other arm's been chopped the fuck off.
And going back to my intro, I think we could have just as easily called this movie Rambo Academy.
The whole movie, I was saying stuff like trying to nail his catchphrase, like "I'm your worst tax season." Oh no, that's just wrong. I'm your worst wet dream. Oh no, I'm your worst nightclub.
I think we missed at least 20 lines in this movie that were just like that, though. They were all over the movie.
So, would you guys watch this movie again?
Yes.
I would definitely watch this movie again.
Yeah.
Even
a good
I
movie.
enjoyed how stupid this movie was.
It's
Awesome.
just so
awesome.
crazy.
That makes me
because
happy, Craig.
I just think it's
I do this all for
it's
you,
the
Craig.
It's the American dream. Kids, remember, even if you were born without any brain hemispheres or any type of frontal cortex, you could still become some badass jumping out of the bush and grass assassin.
Or his
at
wife.
least his
Yeah,
wife,
if you
yes.
Have, if you have tits, you can be his wife. Exactly.
So,
And
did we
society
have,
will not frown upon you.
do we have any STDs this week?
Well, one thing I do have is I was so inspired by Alan last week with his song about Wang Wang that I came up with my own little rap song about deadly prey. You guys want to hear it?
Yes.
Hear it.
I was at home taking out the trash. Now I'm in the woods going Rambo on your ass. Got my short shorts from days to do. I'm such a sick fighter, gonna make you puke. Break your back up against a tree, cause you fight like a pussy from the Catholic League. I'm coming up a rat, gonna kill you one by one, show you where it's at. You got grenades sitting on your desk. I don't wear a shirt, don't a bulletproof vest. If you rape my wife, you're just asking for a fight. You're just asking for a fight. What's that you say? Deadly prey, deadly prey. What's that you say? Deadly prey, deadly prey.
I was so good at the beginning, and then where the fuck did that last
Is there another
go?
verse?
There's one more thing. That's like the same.
Taking out the trash. Now I'm in the woods going Rambo on your ass. I'm such a sick fighter, gonna make you puke.
And that's it.
That is awesome.
Classic,
Yes.
Wow.
What's that app called?
Auto rap.
Okay.
By
Oh,
S.
man.
Mule.
You know what's sad is that probably does make about half the rap music out there.
That was pretty sweet, Paul.
Yeah, that was awesome, dude. Thanks.
So do we have a wild pitch?
I don't.
I don't have one either.
I will try to come up with one at some point.
I'll try to come up with a rap and a wild pitch too. I have ideas.
That's okay. We can do the occasional shorter episode.
I do have a Schlock Talk do.
Sure, this is still an hour.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll do one of the shorter episodes, you know.
You know what I'm saying.
We're just at 55 minutes.
What's the do?
The do is, once again, to prove that I do watch good movies, I checked out this film called Grand Piano with Elijah Wood and John Cusack. And it is like a cool little like Hitchcockian kind of thriller about this virtuoso pianist who has anxiety. Penis. He has anxiety fears, and he's got this huge show that he's performing. And while he's performing, he's getting death threats written on his music and then in his earpiece.
Nice.
And,
Written in his earpiece? That's hard.
and then in his earpiece. It's a good movie, regardless of the way I explain it.
Grand Piano. And where can we get that?
I think it's in limited release right now. So
Why did you go to see the movie called Grand Piano?
why?
I'm just curious. Movie called Grand Piano. I do not see Paul going up to there going, I would like a ticket for Grand Piano, please.
It must have been the poster. It would have been like
Well,
some kind of snag at the...
Like I said, pianist. I thought it said penis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So we should
Elijah's got wood.
we should say too that Deadly Prey is not currently published by a DVD publisher, but you can watch Deadly Prey in its entirety on YouTube.
Yes.
The comments are pretty nice on that too.
Yeah.
Definitely read them.
Cool. So we remind our listeners to listen, like us on Facebook, go to our website schlocktalk.com, and follow us on Twitter at Talking Schlock.
All right.
Goodbye.
Word.
Goodbye.
We love you.
Peace out.